The owner, Marge, has owned this place since 1966, and her mission is to be a safe place in non-euthanasia for these animals that are hurt or just have no place. According to humanesociety.org, 4 states, including Pennsylvania, it is a felony for animal abuse. So a lot of these animals that come in there are abused, whether that's dog fighting. We see that a lot around here. There's lots of dog fighting, and like they pay to fight the animals, so it's usually like pit bulls and stuff that we see. But a lot of people immediately think that there's like one type of abuse and it's like hurting the animals like physically, but theirs goes into a lot of different things. There's abuse such as not taking care of your animals, not taking them to the vet if they're sick, not feeding them, leaving them in poor conditions, not giving them water, not giving them the love and like the space that they need. Animals need lots of room, lots of love, obviously food and water, and like dogs especially need room to run around and get their energy out, and they need to just go on walks and stuff. So at the shelter we do see a lot of dogs, whether they're strays people find running around, whether they're abused. We see so many dogs. So my first day volunteering, I pull up and I'm just in awe because I see horses. That's the first thing I see, and I'm like, what am I getting myself into? Like, this is crazy. So I went and I met the person that was in charge that day. She's another volunteer. I don't exactly remember her name. And I went in there not really expecting much, not really having any expectations. And I was hoping to work with the cats just because I do like cats more than dogs, but I wanted to help any way I could. So I say this unfortunately, but fortunately, when I was there, they have a cat cottage. It's a literal house just for their cats there, and it was empty, which for me, I was sad, but it's a great thing because that means that they were all adopted and there was none being abused brought there. So I was a little disappointed, but I got right to work and they had me go in. The smaller dogs are inside and they're a little bit more rough compared to the ones outside. They're very ankle biters. So they kind of kept me away from that just because they are a little snippy and stuff, so they didn't want me to get hurt. So they take me outside and the whole back is, I believe, 32 kennels. So they immediately put me to work. There was, I think, 24 dogs. So I took them on walks, all 24 of them. And this ranged from a little like purse dog or chihuahua to horse-sized dogs that basically walked me. So I walked them around the farm. I had to pick up after they did their business. And then I had to refill their water and their food, clean their kennels, change their bedding, do laundry, and then sanitize everything and just do like lots of cleaning. We do stuff as answering phone calls. So if someone calls like saying they have a pet that they found, we tell them information, or if someone wants to adopt. Each year, about 1.5 million shelters end up killing animals, but that's not the case at the shelter. It's no kill, and what I really like about it is there could be dogs there for a day and they get adopted, or there can be dogs there weeks, months, years, and they might not get adopted. But I mean, living in a cage isn't the most ideal thing, but it's definitely better what we had them in. It's better than being abused, not fed. At least they have some love. They have what they need, whether it's medication, food, water. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. And just sometimes seeing the dogs that are there longer and cats that aren't getting adopted, it breaks my heart, but at the same time, it's better than where they were. So a lot of the shelters are nonprofits, so we base our work off of the community and volunteers. No one is really like on the books or paid, so it could be one of us volunteering that day and taking care of all of the animals. And all of the stuff we get from the community is what we use. So whether that's a money donation, whether it's food, bedding, towels, blankets, that's what we work with. And especially during the pandemic, I was not personally able to go volunteer at the shelter in person just because of guidelines and for safety reasons that I wanted to protect myself. So I'd ask them how I can help without being in person. So there's so many ways to help. You can donate money, you can donate anything they need, whether that's water, cat food, dog food. They always need blankets and towels and stuff for whether that's cleaning up or keeping animals warm. So there's so many different ways that you can volunteer. It never really has to be in person. But I just wanted to get involved in this just because I love animals so much. And I am so glad that Carrie Rowe pushed me to do this, because this is now something that I plan to do for as long as I can. And it kind of breaks my heart that I can't be there during the pandemic with these animals, but I know that they're being taken care of. So in conclusion, I think that volunteering is really important, and we also need to start spaying and neutering our animals, because there is just so much abundance of, I personally see like so many cats. We need to stop that because we don't have the resources to be taking care of all of these animals. They just end up on the streets, no homes, no food, no shelter. So we just need to start doing our part, and we can't necessarily stop the abuse, but we can be there for the aftermath. And I know that sounds kind of sad, but we are still helping in a way by taking care of them. So I think everyone should volunteer. It doesn't have to be an animal shelter, but I know a lot of people do love animals. So go ahead and volunteer. And if you want to volunteer at Blue Chip, then I would do it, because it really is an amazing experience. Hi everyone, my name is Gina Kirkpatrick, and today I'm going to be talking about my service learning project that I've been working on since the beginning of this summer semester. A lot of you have probably seen or heard the commercials for the ASPCA, and I'm an advocate and a lover for animals, especially cats. You guys know because I did a cat video for my informative speech. But today I'm going to be talking about a little local shelter about a half hour from Keystone. It's called Blue Chip Animal Refugee. This is a non-profit, no-kill shelter. So they work basically off donations and the community's help, and they don't kill animals. So this journey for me began in the fall semester, so my first semester at Keystone. I was in Carrie Rowe's first year STEM class, and we had to do a lot of interaction with our classmates and our community. So one of our projects was we had to go out and volunteer. And ever since I'm a little girl, I wanted to volunteer at an animal shelter, but you always had like age restrictions or just some type of restrictions. So this was the perfect opportunity to finally push myself to do this. So there's 2 different animal shelters that I volunteer for, but we're going to be talking about Blue Chip today. So it was September of 2019, and I had went up to Blue Chip, and I was really surprised when I got there. When I think of an animal shelter, especially the one where I adopted my cats from, I don't really think of farm animals, but you get there and it's really, really big. It's like 32 acres. There's all kinds of animals, livestock, horses, cats, dogs, bunnies, like birds. There's all kinds of animals. And I'm sure a lot of you think animal shelters are just cats and dogs, but it really is not. So the owner, Marge, has owned